Imagine everything going wrong in your life. Your girlfriend breaks up with you. You get fired from your job. And to make things worse, your health is a mess. What would you do in that situation? Most people would feel depressed, complaining about how messed up life is. And if that would be your reaction, you, more than anyone else, need to watch this video. The situation I just described to you is the result of lacking a skill that every man should have: emotional intelligence. You have no idea how important this skill is in your life. Imagine having the ability to master your emotions. What would you do with that power? How would that change your life? I'm sure it would make a huge difference. And if you had learned this earlier, you probably wouldn't have lost so many opportunities in your life. But today, you have the chance to change that. Because in the next few minutes, I'm going to give you the 3 steps that can turn your mind into an impenetrable fortress. To give you an idea, most of the bad things that happen in the world don't come from a lack of money, power, or resources. They come from a lack of emotional intelligence. Wars happen because leaders don't know how to deal with fear, ego, and hate, or when they let greed take over. Conflicts exist because people don't know how to deal with their own anger. Relationships end because people can't deal with jealousy and insecurity. Addictions are created because many people don't know how to deal with pain, frustration, or the emptiness they carry inside. The list goes on, and every one of these things pushes a man a little further down. On the other hand, men who can control their emotions tend to be far more successful, and that's not a coincidence. Your success is directly linked to your ability to make good decisions. The problem is that when you don't know how to control your emotions, they start making decisions for you. And most of the time, the results are terrible. If you stop and think about the most important decisions in your life, you'll realize that the worst ones were made in the heat of emotion. Unfortunately, you can't change the past, but you can change the future from this moment forward by using emotional intelligence, a skill that allows you to recognize, understand, and control your own emotions. Developing this is simple, but it's not easy. Like any other skill, it takes time and practice, and that's exactly why I simplified this entire process. Instead of overcomplicating things, I broke everything down into just 3 steps that you need to follow to master emotional intelligence. That way, it becomes much easier to remember and, more importantly, to use it in the moments when you're about to be controlled by your emotions. The first step is to identify. The moment you realize that your emotions are getting out of control, you've already taken the most important step. At this point, you're already ahead of 90% of people, because most people don't even notice this. They just feel the emotion and react automatically. What you need to do here is simple. Stop for a second and ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Is it anger, anxiety, fear, frustration? Identify the emotion. When you do this, it stops controlling you automatically. At that moment, you stop reacting on autopilot and become aware of what's actually happening. And this is exactly where everything starts to change. The second step is to understand. After identifying the emotion, you need to understand why you're feeling it. Every emotion is born from a thought, never from the situation itself. That's why the right question is, what went through my mind for me to feel this way? It could have been something someone said, a broken expectation, or fear of what might happen. When you understand the source, you realize that the problem isn't the emotion, it's the interpretation. And the moment you realize that, the intensity of the emotion already starts to fade. The third step is to direct your emotions. You can't eliminate them. That doesn't exist. The only thing you can do is decide where it goes. When you try to repress your emotions, they don't disappear. They build up, and sooner or later, they explode, creating a much bigger problem. It's like trying to block a river. At first, it might work, but eventually, the water finds another way through. And the problem is that, most of the time, that path is exactly where you didn't want it to go. That's why the solution isn't blocking everything. It's closing one path and opening another. It's directing that flow towards something more useful, healthier, and more beneficial for you. So the question you should ask yourself is, where am I going to direct the emotion I'm feeling right now? For example, if it's anger, you can use it to train, produce, or solve a problem. If it's anxiety, you can use it to improve your planning around what's causing it. If it's fear, you can use it in an activity that prepares you better to face it. See the difference? Now the emotion isn't repressed, it's directed, and that's exactly what emotional intelligence is. You've just learned one of the most important skills a man must master, but by itself, it won't solve all your problems. To truly win in life, there are 3 more skills that need to be developed alongside this one. And that's exactly what I talk about in this video.